and of the Trans-Arabian Pipeline Company will have exceeded $400 million. The expanding program requires an increase of permanent personnel to a total of more than 2,500 Americans and 15,000 Arabs. Such is the story of the oil itself. But there is another story, the story of people. For all the time the oil job was being done, there was the problem of making life more livable. For in spite of heat and flies and hardship and monotony, these men had come, and they had vowed they would stay, and they set about to make good their vow. Halfway around the world, the company had brought everything from food and housing to drilling equipment. It brought in American technology and skilled craftsmanship. Men planned and worked, and cleared and dug, and slowly, painfully, they reared a modern community on the desert beside the Persian Gulf. Here in Dhahran, irrigation has wrought its magic, tapping the desert and bringing forth trees and grass and flowers. These houses and the offices are completely equipped and air-conditioned. Hot though Saudi Arabia may be in summer, it's a healthy climate, and children thrive on it. They go to school as they would in America. Just about as they would back in their own hometowns, Paul Strong and his friends visit in the cool comfort of their modern homes at Dhahran. Unmarried girls who have come to Arabia as secretaries, stenographers, and clerks find companionship and recreation in the clubrooms and dormitories. Always popular with the employees is the freshwater swimming pool, where they can cool off after a round of golf or a set of tennis. In the best tradition of medicine is this modern American hospital, providing free medical and surgical care to all employees. The company retains skilled American physicians and surgeons. Desert heat is no problem to workers in this new air-conditioned office building. There's an airport only about 40 hours by air from New York, by company plane or commercial airline. Miles up the Arabian coast is the Ras Tanura refinery, located on a beautiful stretch of gleaming white sand. Here is another American colony, complete with air-conditioned houses, 2 hospitals, and an outdoor movie theater. Out of every $2 invested in the concession, $1 goes into housing and other service facilities necessary to take care of employees, Americans and Saudi Arabs. The company has never forgotten that it is a guest in the land of the Saudi Arabs, and that the best interests of its hosts must at all times be served. Today, more than 12,000 Arab workers are employed by the company, and their number is increasing steadily. They worship in their mosques, such as this one at Dhahran, built by the government. Until quite recently, the Arabs had little or no opportunity for recreation and sports. Now they delight in learning new games. In the producing fields, Arab workers have become skilled craftsmen and work side by side with American drillers. In fact, the company's operations have become one of the great centers for vocational and industrial training in the Middle East. In the refinery, too, Saudi Arabs who a few years ago knew only the life of the desert now skillfully operate complicated oil refining equipment. American engineers have trained their Arab co-workers well, and the Arabs have been good pupils. Workers with aptitude are quickly trained to handle laboratory routine. Every shipment of product or crude is tested. It must meet rigid specifications. The quality is controlled as carefully as in refineries in the United States. More than 200 Arabs have been with the company 10 years or longer. The wages paid by the oil company provide new purchasing power for workers and their families and a new prosperity for the region.
About 7,500 farm boys and girls have joined the 4-H Club movement in Puerto Rico. Listen to their 4-H pledge.
Como miembro fiel del Club 4H prometo mi cabeza para pensar claramente, mi corazón para mayor sinceridad, mis manos para mejor servicio, mi salud para mejor bienestar, para mi hogar, mi comunidad, mi club y mi patria.
By participating in social and civic activities, the rural youth trains for better citizenship. Dedicated to the betterment of farm life, their motto is, learn by doing, and they live up to it. Here a group of boys at the Vega Baja demonstration farm learn how to graft citrus trees. 4-H girls are trained in the art of homemaking. Following the instructions of the home agent, they can the products of their home gardens. Girls of the Villa Maquina 4-H Club of Sabana Grande take earnestly to their sewing project. Humble, thatched, typical home of many of the less than 1 acre farmers where the goat is the family cow. This 4-H Club boy, Rene Jimenez, shows us how to milk his goat his own way. Here we meet Humberto with his swan project. He is in 4th year high school, yet he takes on the added duties of caring for his animals. These girls of Calle make beautiful artificial flowers from native grasses. This is profitable work, but the 4-H clubs have brought something more to rural Puerto Rico. They have brought recreation to the farms, activities that tend to make farm boys and girls healthier and happier. These girls of Luquillo make attractive and saleable dolls from seashells. Girls also have field projects. This senorita of Vega Baja takes us into her well-kept papaya grove. Thus, under the 4-H banner, an alert and healthy generation of rural youth is growing up to assume the grave responsibilities of citizenship. Boys and girls well fitted both physically and spiritually to take their places in the councils of mankind. Through this spirit of helpful service on the one hand, and the determination to build for a more bountiful future on the other, better farmers are improving farming. Better housewives are improving living. Better children are improving life itself. And when the hours of toil draw to a close, and the sun goes down beyond the encircling seas, stout hearts glow with hope, and boast of the will to work for a fuller life in rural Puerto Rico.
Other pipelines carry the finished products from the refinery to the terminal and loading wharf about 3 miles away. The company's marine terminal at Ras Tanura can handle 4 tankers at once, loading them at a rate of from 10 to 12,000 barrels an hour. The average tanker can be loaded and on her way again in about 12 hours. Much of the company's present refinery output is going to the United States Navy for use in the Far East. By 1950, production of crude oil is expected to be double what it was in 1947, or even higher. To handle this huge volume, greatly expanded transportation facilities will be needed. Materials have been arriving in the Persian Gulf for the world's largest pipeline, a project of the Trans-Arabian Pipeline Company, an affiliate. The first leg, from Abqaiq to Qatif, has been completed. The Trans-Arabian Pipeline route lies across 1,075 miles of desert, plains, and coastal ranges to the Mediterranean. When
across each other. Variations of the cloverleaf have been developed at congested corners. In the country, separating intersecting thoroughfares by overhead bridges at the crossing points makes for safety. Because one road is elevated above the other, through highway crossings have been made safe. While in the city, grade separation means a smooth flow of traffic at even the busiest hours. The elimination of railroad grade crossings has been one of the most important safety developments. Railroad underpasses have proved their value in saving time and lives wherever they have been built. A network of roads and underpasses leading to the George Washington Bridge across the Hudson River between New York and New Jersey greatly simplifies the handling of traffic. Bridge approaches are wide enough to carry traffic volumes not only for today, but for years to come. Modern bridges are strong enough and wide enough to carry traffic streams far heavier than those of the average road. The new bridges, such as the Triborough Bridge at New York, will do away with the bottlenecks of traffic and free drivers from delay over miles of approaching roads. The Pulaski Aerial Skyway from Jersey City to Newark, New Jersey, carries thousands of cars a day. Highways like this at Alexandria in Louisiana are the road builders' answer to the advancements made by automobile engineers. With these new highways come new advances in engineering, new standards of comfort, new records of economy, and above all, the savings of man's greatest asset, time. Throughout the United States, the American public has shown its interest in the work of improving the highway. We must all encourage the road builders of today who have given us new roads on the ground, contributing so much to public safety. New roads over the ground, adding to the usefulness of the entire road system. New roads under the water, saving time for the motorists. And new roads over the water to keep America's safety record the finest in the world.
Rico, outpost of American democracy. This island was discovered in 1493 by Christopher Columbus, to whose memory this monument at Aguadilla is consecrated. Ruled by Spain until 1898, peopled by descendants of Spanish settlers. Hundred-year-old communities when the Pilgrims landed on Plymouth Rock. Portacelle, a 4th-century-old church, symbol of Catholic tradition. La Fortaleza, the fortress, residence of the island's governor since 1533. Today, a new era. Ancient patios resound to the strains of modern music. But time-honored customs linger on. Here is the Sayas Choriao, a centuries-old Puerto Rican country dance. Behind old massive ramparts, modern structures symbolize Puerto Rico's progress during 43 years under the American flag. Its strategic position in an unsettled world now gives the island a new and vital importance, in the realization of which its 2 million peace-loving people are cooperating patriotically to forestall the spread of totalitarian tyranny to the shores of the Americas, and thus to uphold the traditions of the great Latin American patriots and teachers, of whom not the least is De Hostos, illustrious Puerto Rican educator. The economic structure of Puerto Rico rests on a highly specialized agricultural system based on external trade relations. Sugarcane is king, the principal source of income. In 1940, 59% of all exports were agricultural products. Of this, 90% was sugar. Large sugarcane interests occupy the...
Boy, I didn't know which was going to wear out first, me or the music.
What are you going to play next, huh?
Why, we're going around show you.
Hey, how about it? You want to dance?
I'd rather not.
Well, you want to sit and talk then?
I'd rather not. Not with you.
Well, I'm sorry. I didn't mean to make you mad.
Oh, are you satisfied?
I don't know what you're talking about.
You really froze him out, didn't you?
I don't know what business it is of yours if I don't want to dance.
Well, I think you did want to dance. You wanted to dance, all right, but you just couldn't pass up the chance to be a snob. What's the matter? Sarah? Sarah, come back.
I can't.
Why not? What's the matter? Can I do anything?
No. Oh, Ron, they're so mean and hateful. They don't understand anybody who isn't one of their gang and doesn't do all the silly things they do. They don't understand.
I didn't mean it. Isn't there something I could...
The snob, hurting everyone, herself, her parents, her friends, other people. What makes Sarah act the way she does? Is it a cover-up for some lack she feels in herself? Can a friend like Ron help her in any way? Is the group justified in judging everything Sarah does as snobbery? What do you think?
Three different sources of sound give voice to musical instruments. Vibrating columns of air, as in the woodwinds, vibrating surfaces, such as drum heads and cymbals, and vibrating strings, such as those of the string section. But whether or not a sound is musical, each of the countless sounds in our environment originates in some object that vibrates. In this film, we shall study how sounds are produced and the principal auditory differences of sounds. To begin with, what is involved in producing sounds? To help answer this question, we experiment first with a tuning fork. When the fork is struck, its prongs begin to vibrate. These vibrations set up invisible waves in the surrounding air. We can picture these waves as animated drawings. Striking the prongs distorts them. Like other solid objects, these prongs resist distortion. They spring back and forth, thus producing new distortions. Each movement or vibration sets up new disturbances, or sound wave impulses. These continue as long as the prongs are in motion. The speed with which sound waves move depends upon the medium through which they pass. We will assume that these waves are being transmitted by air molecules. Every time the prongs move apart, they push against the adjacent air. In turn, this movement affects the air further on. In this segment of the wave, we can see that some molecules are pushed relatively close together. These represent condensations of air. Each time the prongs spring inward, a partial vacuum forms in their vicinity. Air molecules nearby move into this vacuum, leaving a rarefied zone behind. Thus, there are alternate zones of condensation and rarefaction of the air. The number of times a given molecule moves back and forth in 1 second is the frequency of the wave. In one complete vibration, indicated here by the bracket, sound travels a distance of 1 wavelength. The velocity of any sound wave equals its wavelength times its frequency. We can record pressure variations in sound waves with this kind of instrument, an oscillograph. Sound waves are striking the diaphragm at the left. The stylus records the sound waves as a graph. Later, we shall use such graphs to represent sound waves. Condensations cause the stylus to move upward. Rarefactions cause it to move downward. So far, we've seen how sound waves are produced. Next, we'll identify 3 auditory effects of musical sounds: loudness, pitch, and quality. We begin with loudness. Every sound sets up a disturbance in the transmitting medium. The larger the disturbance or displacement of the individual particles, the greater is the height of its graph above the neutral line. This displacement above the neutral line is called amplitude, and it is amplitude that determines loudness. As its loudness increases. Next, let us consider pitch, the auditory effect of frequency. First, we hear the sound of middle C. Next, we hear G below middle C. And now the sound of C below middle C. What causes such differences in pitch? To explain such differences, we picture 2 different sound waves. Here, the lower fork makes more complete vibrations per second. Therefore, its frequency is greater. It is evident that the one with the greater frequency has the higher pitch. The frequency of a vibrating string depends upon the material it's made of and its density, tension, and length. Different instruments produce sounds of different tonal quality, even when playing the same basic frequencies. Each vibrating string may be made to produce different tones. To explain some of the reasons for this, let us observe this string. Here there is no motion at these endpoints or nodes. The string vibrates along its full length and produces its longest possible wavelength. This is the lowest or fundamental frequency of the string, sometimes called the first partial. If the string vibrates in two segments, it produces a wavelength that's 1/2 that of the fundamental. This is the first overtone, which may be called the second partial. Since wavelength is inversely proportional to frequency, the frequency of the first overtone is twice that of the fundamental. When the string vibrates in 3 segments, it produces its second overtone, the third partial. Here, the frequency is 3 times that of the fundamental. But usually, several different modes of vibration occur simultaneously. The result is a compound waveform. Here we represent the fundamental tone supplemented by its first and second overtones. Differences in the audible components of a sound determine its quality. Quality helps us recognize the characteristic sounds of various musical instruments and distinguish one voice from another. With this oscilloscope, we can represent as waves the sounds being produced and see their different modes of vibration, as in the case of vibrating strings. Besides strings, we've already considered vibrating surfaces. Vibrations from such diaphragms are often quite complex. This diaphragm, for example, vibrates in a number of different segments. The third of the principal sources of sound is the vibrating column of air. The organ pipe, like the woodwind, produces sound by means of such an air column. Often the exposed pipes of an organ are merely decorative, and sounds are produced by the pipes in the organ loft. The wavelengths fitting the shorter pipes are shorter, and their frequencies are greater than the longer pipes. Consequently, the shorter pipes...
Irving Berlin, composers whose songs all Americans sing. Housed in this historic, imposing building is the executive branch of New York City's government. Like any other city, New York has its elected and appointed officials, charged with protecting the persons and property of the city. Near the City Hall is located one of the most elaborate groups of civic buildings to be seen in any city outside of Washington, D.C. The municipal building, one of the group, is a magnificent structure, 40 stories high. In these numerous buildings are located the headquarters of the various branches of city government. The efficient fire department, its men trained to protect life and property in the world's highest buildings. Its world-famed police department, whose members are numbered in the thousands. Its public utilities of gas, water, electricity, and central steam for heating buildings. The largest municipal health and hospital system in the world. And its remarkable Department of Sanitation, which is responsible for the disposal of refuse and waste, the cleaning of streets and the removal of snow, with its tremendous fleet of motorized equipment. But the greatness of New York is perhaps most spectacularly seen in its buildings. For here on the island of Manhattan is the most impressive concentration of stone and steel masonry the world has ever known. The vast number of people who have crowded into this district have made for a scarcity of land and a consequent high value of whatever land has been available. While other cities have spread outward, New York has been forced to build upward. From the bay, the skyline of commercial New York, Lower and Midtown, is an extraordinary spectacle, and the effects of hundreds of towering buildings crowded together along the narrow island is one never to be forgotten. Tallest of New York structures and the tallest in the world is the amazing Empire State Building. It rears its 103-story head 1,250 feet over the sidewalks below. It has 7 miles of elevator shafts and 73 elevators, which travel so fast that a passenger entering one at the street floor may reach the 80th floor exactly 1 minute later. One of the most famous hotels in the world is the Waldorf Astoria. 80% of the building is over the tracks of the New York Central and the New Haven railroads, and private railroad cars carrying guests of the hotel may be shunted to a special entrance located in the sub-basements. 47 stories high and containing 2,200 rooms, the Waldorf Astoria Hotel has been called New York's unofficial palace. Rockefeller Center, a group of buildings occupying 3 city blocks, is the largest building project ever undertaken at one time by private capital. It is a self-contained city with business offices, centers of international commerce, theaters, and its own post office. The Central RCA building is in area the largest office building in the world, and so large is Rockefeller Center itself that its estimated daily population is over 150,000 people. From the one-room log cabin of a Dutch trader to the multi-storied buildings of Midtown Manhattan, that is the story of New York, a fabulous city, a fascinating city. New York is a great city for many reasons. Its strategic geographic location, its tremendous harbor flanked by marine, highway, air, and railroad tributaries, have made the city one of the world's greatest transportation centers, the commercial capital and the international trading capital of the United States. Here, too, is concentrated much of the banking wealth of our country, for the city is the financial center of the wealthiest of the world's nations. It is supreme among our cities in the volume of its retail trade, which is diverse in interests and in the character of commodities. The raw materials for which are drawn from the far reaches of the world, sometimes only to be fabricated and subsequently redistributed in new form in diverse directions. Likewise, New York's wholesale trade calls upon all parts of America and the world for supplies. Eggs from the Middle West, citrus fruit from Florida and California, vegetables from the South and New England, to feed the people of New York and the people of other countries. It is one of the greatest manufacturing and processing areas of the nation. The nation's foremost center of culture, a city of museums, and a city possessing hundreds of acres of public parks for the rest, relaxation, and health of its millions of residents and thousands of annual visitors. Best known is Central Park in the borough of Manhattan, with its zoo, its playgrounds, miles of shaded walks and drives, and its restful lakes. New York with the most complex municipal school system in the world, with churches of every denomination, with homes of variegated pattern ranging block by block along miles of streets, avenues, and boulevards, with multi-storied hotels to welcome business visitors and tourists, its tall buildings housing international and national communication systems, its thousands upon thousands of young people who tomorrow, like their parents before them, will continue to create a great story the story of a great city, the city of New York.
I can't hear a thing. Hey, Jerry, I'm on the phone.
Oh, all right.
Thanks.
Hey, who cut the music?
Jerry, now what did you say? When? Who was driving? How bad was he hurt?
Somebody got hurt.
Well, thanks for calling. Oh, yeah, some of them are here. Sally, Jack, and you know, the gang. I thought Bob and Ted would be here, too. I bet they wish now they had come. Yeah. Well, I'll see you tomorrow. Goodbye. Well, who was that? It was Betty. She and Dan were on the way to the movies when they saw this accident. It was Bob and Ted.
Hey, Bob and Ted have been in an accident?
Were they hurt? Bob and Ted didn't get hurt. It was someone else, a pedestrian. Bob was driving and Ted was with him.
Gosh, I bet they feel awful.
They ought to. The police found a bottle in the car.
Oh, brother, they're really in trouble.
Well, it serves them right. Anybody that'd be dumb enough to drink.
Nobody should drink and drive.
I mean, there's no excuse for drinking under any conditions. That's just what I've always thought. Drinking's just about the worst thing you can do.
Hey, now, wait a minute. Who said anything about drinking? I thought all you said was they found a bottle in the car. Was there anything said about whether Bob and Ted had been drinking or not?
Betty didn't say that.
Yeah, it looks like you're pretty quick to condemn Bob and Ted. I thought they were your friends.
I'm not either condemning them. I'm condemning drinking. That's what I said.
You did not. You said anybody would drink it all, didn't she? And we were all talking about Bob and Ted, and that's who you were talking about, too.
Yeah, Sally, how come you say that? You're prejudiced.
I am not prejudiced. It's a fact. Alcohol is poison, and you know it.
Hey, now, wait a minute. Let's not get all riled up about this. Well, she started it. Some of us don't feel the same about drinking as she does, and she knows it. She's just trying to find an excuse to tell us what we ought to do.
Oh, you make me so mad. I guess what you mean is
Now,
you just...
Sally, don't get mad. Jack didn't mean anything. Gosh, how do we get off on this anyway?
Well, that's what I say. Well, if people are friends, they ought to be able to talk about something without everybody blowing their tops.
Gosh, yes, Sally. I'm sorry. I didn't really mean to hurt your feelings. You see it one way and I see another. Well, now, that's more like it. Now, come on, Sally. Jack said he was sorry, so let's just forget it.
Well, okay. But I still don't agree with him. I still think drinking is wrong.
Well, that depends, Sally. Jack's not asking you to change your mind. After all, we just got
No, but tell me one thing. What's so wrong with drinking? What have you got against it?
Well, in the first place, everybody knows it doesn't do you any good. It can ruin your health.
Is that what you believe? Do you believe that old scare stuff? Pooey.
Well, maybe you're both right. A lot of people drink occasionally, but I guess it could really fix you if you concentrate on it.
Sure, just like a lot of things. Pickles. You can't say pickles by themselves are bad for you, but if you eat too many, you get sick. It's the same thing with drinking. You drink so much that you don't get the vitamins and stuff you need, and wham, you get liver trouble or something. All I can say is alcohol can't be as bad as some people think it is. My folks don't think it's poison either. Why, you should have heard what my dad had to say about this the other day. We got to talking about alcohol.
You see, Jack, an occasional drink never hurt anyone. Sure, liquor can cause you plenty of trouble. It'll make you drunk if you drink too much of it. And I think it's criminal if anybody drives after he's been drinking. But let me tell you something. A drink before dinner in the evening is just about the best thing I know of to settle your nerves and give you an appetite. My father always had it around the house, and we've had it. And I don't object to your taking a drink once in a while, but I just don't want to ever hear of your being drunk.
And my dad wouldn't tell me I could drink a little if I wanted to. Not if it's as dangerous as you seem to think it is.
How do you know you won't get drunk?
Look, I'm no baby. I know what I can do and what I can't do, even with drinking.
Oh, I've heard that before. Anybody that drinks will talk like that.
That's just the kind of talk that'll get you in trouble. If you don't think alcohol will hurt you physically, what about the way you're likely to act? You can't say it doesn't affect your actions. And I know somebody who'd back me up on that, Reverend Brewster. He was talking about it recently at young people's meeting in the church.
I believe in freedom for young people. You should make your own decisions, but only in the light of all available facts. And I don't see how anyone who knows and understands all the facts can condone the use of alcohol. It is a question of right or wrong. For the things people do when they have taken alcohol are not directed by the clearest thinking and the most conscientious judgment. Spiritual values and human dignity are forgotten. That's why the use of alcohol is wrong.
And that settles it for me. As far as I'm concerned, it's wrong.
Well, Sally, I go to church too. And in my church, they don't say it's wrong to use alcohol. Whether you drink or whether you don't drink is up to you. Getting drunk is something else again.
Well, how do you feel about drinking, Susan?
Actually, I don't care one way or the other. Drinking just doesn't interest me. My folks serve drinks once in a while. They never told me that I couldn't drink. I'm just not interested. But it's all right with me if other people want to. That is, if they behave themselves.
What about the people who become alcoholic? Doesn't that bother you, Susan? Why, these alcoholics, they...
If you mean my dad, go ahead and say it.
Sure, he's an alcoholic. Everybody knows it. I'm used to it. When a member of your family gets that way, you try and hide it at first, but you can't. You might as well face it. When Dad found out what was wrong with him and started taking treatment, our whole family got educated. Dr. Brune spent a lot of time helping me to understand. We had a long talk about people like my dad.
Alcoholism is a kind of illness that affects different types of people. We're not entirely sure why some people who drink become alcoholics and others do not. We do know that most alcoholics can be helped, can recover through proper treatment. Your father's illness involves more than just his use of alcohol. Most drinkers can control their drinking. Alcoholics cannot. Your father is one of them.
My father's just one of those people who couldn't control his drinking.
Then I think you'd be afraid to drink.
Just because my dad's an alcoholic doesn't mean I'm going to be one. You don't inherit alcoholism, according to Dr. Brune.
No, sir, that's not going to keep me from going along with the gang.
That's what I say. If you want to be one of the gang, you've got to act like one of the gang. You don't want people to think you're a square, do you?
Do you mean to say you think you have to drink?
No, but...
I don't drink, and I get along all right with the gang.
Sure, but
Take this gang here. We have a lot of fun when we're together, but my folks would take a dim view of my coming if there was drinking.
There are plenty of guys who have a drink with their families, but when they get outside the house, they drink deliberately, just to get high and put on an act. I think that's what our parents are concerned about, as much as anything.
You're the only one, Jerry, who hasn't stated his opinion. Haven't you got anything to say?
Well, yeah, boy, everybody else put in his 2 cents. How come you're holding out?
I'm not holding out. I'm just listening.
Well, come on, let us in on it. How do you feel about drinking?
Well, now, that's a pretty hard question to answer.
Why? Nobody else seemed to have any trouble, although we don't all agree.
Say, you know, that reminds me of...
A hard question to answer. The kids don't realize it, but this is the first time we've really said what we think about drinking. Listening to what all of them think and believe, I'm not exactly sure where I stand. With most things, there's a hard and fast rule.
And scientists from all corners of the land are converging upon this growing community. The welcome mat is always out for men with this special kind of know-how, who can help in solving the complex problems confronting fellow scientists of this fabulous electronic age. Don't get the idea that missiles and rocket ships are the only products turned out in this versatile town. One enterprising manufacturer has figured out how to make a bendable flex straw that will neither break nor clog up when in the hands of thirsty little kids. It's completely non-electronic, but it works. Our town has always taken a particular interest in its senior citizens. There's always plenty to do for the young at heart who approach the twilight years. Some 50 churches of virtually every faith adorn the city. And during the Christmas season, the nativity scenes in Palisades Park are most impressive indeed. Each year they are viewed by thousands of visitors and reflect the depth of spiritual feeling of the residents. In fact, we have become known as the Christmas Story City. If you're a sincere lover of the arts, there's a treat in store for you at the secluded J. Paul Getty Museum, where priceless French tapestries and other 17th century works of art are on display. Our city erected this beautiful civic center, architecturally attuned to the tempo of progress. And credit the efficient city council, city manager form of government for a phenomenon of these inflationary times. Taxes are far below average in Santa Monica. Our magnificent new civic auditorium was completed recently at a cost of more than $3 million. We feel that it is worth every penny, for it serves the multi-purpose needs of the city in a most unique way. Many outstanding musical and theatrical events are staged here year-round. And during the Christmas season, the famous Wilcoxon Group players present their stirring nativity play. Hydraulically tilted floors can automatically transform the huge auditorium in moments from a concert hall or theater of the arts into a spacious level-surfaced convention hall or sports arena. Here is a significant symbol of the thrift of the community. There are some mighty good reasons for the present boom in real estate. New families are moving in daily, all having succumbed to the magnetic lure of this friendly city.
Here is a field of tobacco, a commodity whose sweet-smelling, enjoyable-tasting smoke has contributed to man's pleasure for centuries. One of the major sources of wealth to the early American colonies, and now the basis of an industry that ranks with wheat and cotton in monetary value. Until recent years, the cultivation, processing, and manufacture of tobacco were almost entirely an art. And the artist? The veteran tobacco man, skilled in the growing of tobacco and the earlier, simpler techniques of processing and manufacturing. A man whose father and his father before him had spent their lives learning how to make tobacco produce a better smoke. That is all that a man's 5 senses could teach him. But as the industry grew, larger crops, larger markets, modern transportation, all the complexities of a rapidly growing industry taxed his ingenuity in solving new problems. This great change in perspective had been brought about by the introduction of the new American blended cigarette, combining varying amounts of flue.
But when the weather is right and they've finished a good job, the smoke riders get a big thrill and enough satisfaction to make up for all the duds and floaters that result from wind and clouds. A human bumblebee buzzes across the sky. 1,000,000 cubic feet of smoke left hanging in the blue each minute like a long white rope. But remember, there are a lot of people looking over your shoulder, so don't start writing love letters in the sky.
Expression x to the 9th minus 3 squared. Come in. Hi, Mom.
Hi. Still working so late? On Friday night?
This is my last algebra problem. I'll save my history until tomorrow.
Sarah, your father and I appreciate the fact that you take your schoolwork seriously. But, well, couldn't you manage to arrange your time so you could have a little fun, too?
I have a certain amount of homework to do, and I like to get it done on time.
But you have the whole weekend. You could go out on Friday night or have somebody in.
Like them? Is that what you mean?
Having a good time is all I mean. And that's why I talked to Ron's mother the other day.
You didn't? Well, I suppose you fixed it so he'd have to invite me over.
I might have, if it had been necessary. But I found out that those Friday night get-togethers are open houses. You could go.
I know I could if I wanted to. I don't.
I think you should go. You're only young once, and
Mother, don't be so corny. There's nobody over there I want to see. I think I better finish my algebra.
Of course, dear. We'll talk about this some other time.
I think I'm actually just going to pull a pass on.
I think so too. Glad to have you.
Okay, Ron, thanks. Take it easy.
Your friends are certainly a nice bunch, Ron.
Yeah, they're the greatest.
Do you suppose they'd like to help you do something really nice?
What do you mean, Mom?
Well, how about being more friendly to Sarah Inman?
Sarah Inman? Oh, Mom.
No, really, dear, I mean it. Now, you could invite Sarah over here next Friday to join us.
Ask Sarah to come over here? Oh, gee whiz, why?
Well, don't you want her to come?
No, I don't particularly want her. Sarah Inman.
Now, Ron, you know we've always said that all of your friends are welcome here at any time.
Well, I know, Mom, but, well, the idea just kind of grew. We've got a large game room, well-stocked refrigerator, and lots of good records. So the gang started drifting in here on Friday. Nobody needed to be asked, but Sarah never came. She's too high hat for that. She wants a special invitation, and if she gets it, it'll be just one more reason for her to think she's better than anybody else.
Now, look here, Ron. Years ago, when you had rheumatic fever, don't you remember who it was who came over here every day and read to you by the hour?
Well, sure, Mom, but well, she's changed since then.
Oh, no, Ron, I don't think she's really changed. Why don't you give her a chance?
Well, she was good to me once. I guess I can ask her to honor us with her presence. I'll call her tomorrow.
Thanks, son. You know, growing up brings different problems to different people. And some, well, they just don't quite bring it off without falling down somewhere.
Well, if you ask me, where Sarah fell down was when she went into junior high. Well, when she was in grade school, she was swell. She made good grades and had lots of friends. But when she started going to junior high with lots of other sharp kids, well, she couldn't be a big wheel. Now she's in senior high and,
Oh, it's too bad. It seems, well, you know, it sounds like she needs a friend.
You're nominating me? I don't know. She may cut me dead. She does lots of other people. And I don't think she'd care.
The same airplane was called upon to assist the late General Patton maintain the astounding speed of his history-making drive through Europe. Yet at the same time, in other parts of the world, the C-47 airplane was dropping food and medical supplies to men marooned in impenetrable regions. The size of the aircraft helped, not hindered, the different calls for delivery. A small aircraft could use landing areas impossible for use by larger aircraft. One of the great accomplishments of the little Cub was the ferrying of wounded from isolated outposts. Flying over jungle or water. The long-range hospital planes that gave medical attention as well as transportation to suffering men. Airline routes for peacetime were pioneered by the famed Air Transport Command's War Special Delivery. The formidable flying fortress that brought fear to the hearts of the enemy carried serum over the great ice expanse of Alaska. Helicopters, never used as combat planes, penetrated areas where even the small Cub could not enter and made on-the-spot landings to deliver everything from secret pouches to babies. The Tokyo-famed B-25 Mitchell, one of the outstanding planes of the war, is now fighting for health. Instead of bombs, the B-25 now sprays DDT over large areas in a very short space of time and on a moment's notice. Epidemics can now be prevented or stopped suddenly. These gliders help to bring the free peace we now enjoy. In the peaceful future, they again will be working for you in various ways, detaching freight gliders along a regular route, just as freight trains now drop off cars at way stations. Your Air Force is continually developing new and more astonishing aircraft. The XF-12, a new photo reconnaissance ship. The XP-84, a new fighter craft with speed and punch. the small flying wing and the giant XB-35. The C-74, one of the world's largest, the AAF dreams of today, will be the aircraft of tomorrow. The B-29, one of the most favored of our sky armada, spread long-range death and destruction on the Japanese enemy and proved the vulnerability of their home islands to air attack. History was made at Hiroshima and Nagasaki when the B-29 dropped the first atom bombs. After the Japs were brought to their knees by this stupendous attack, the B-29 continued its history-making career by flying non-stop from Tokyo to Washington, D.C., accomplishing one of aviation's great feats. Special delivery of America's historic achievements was the destiny of the B-29. For the Army Air Forces next committed the giant B-29 Armada to science. Never before had such a mighty target been assembled beneath a bomb site. 73 ships in a 5-mile area. It was a bombardier's dream target. On Kwajalein, the ground crews prepared for crossroads, fully aware of the watchful eyes of the world. With calm precision, they checked the motors for last-minute adjustments. Each entire aircraft was given a final tune-up. Special equipment long kept under protective covers against the elements was brought out and installed. The last rehearsals are held with the drone planes, carriers of all kinds of scientific instruments for measuring the effects of the blast. The ground beep pilot takes the plane off the ground. The beep television control in the mothership takes over for the maneuvers. Finally, the drone is turned back to a ground beep control for a perfect landing. The mighty A-bomb was carefully loaded into Dave's Dream, the ship chosen to carry and drop the bomb. Constant guard was maintained and loading activities were carried on behind canvas screens. Aboard the target ships, last-minute preparations were also underway. Animals of various kinds were readied for tests to tell what effects the bomb had on living things. The sheep, first sheared, are then covered with ointment as protection against flesh burns. The effects of the bomb on these animals, while not conclusive, will furnish many clues as to the effect on human beings. Leaving their ships, many of them for the last time, crew members boarded barges bound for the observation fleet and safety. Early morning, July 1st, 1946. Able Day in the Pacific, D-Day of Operation Crossroads. One of the world's largest aircraft, carrying a tiny particle of atomic energy, speeded down the runway for science. AAF special delivery of man's most terrible secret, a delivery timed to the split second. Scientists, statesmen, military men, and John Q. Public all over the world had turned their eyes toward Bikini. Many precautions were taken to prevent injury to the personnel. All men of the observation fleet were warned against exposing their eyes to the flash following the burst. To give further protection,
This is New York, a miracle city, a city of tall buildings, narrow dark streets, magnificent parks, broad avenues, homes and schools, stores and theaters and palatial hotels. A fascinating city, an incredible city. The commercial, financial, trading, and cultural heart of a great nation, the United States of America. To many of the world's peoples, New York City and the United States are one and the same. Its skyscrapers, traffic-filled thoroughfares, and crowded sidewalks are thought of as typically American, a monument to our nation's restless energy, to our passion for things big and great. For New York is both a big city and a great city, the largest city of the Western Hemisphere, second largest in the world. It is home to almost 8 million people, and to millions of Americans it has become the symbol of our country. What is the story behind New York? Why is New York, once a little Dutch settlement, the great city it is today? There are many answers to those questions, and one of the most important lies in the city's location. On that day in the year 1626, when the agents of the Dutch West Indian Company paid the Manhattan Indians $24 for the island now named for them, they did so mainly for commercial reasons. Even then, the advantages of the small trading post's geographical position were apparent. It commanded the outlet of a broad river, the Hudson, navigable for many miles inland. It boasted a superb harbor, sheltered deep water bays, affording safe anchorage for the largest ships. It stood astride an obvious route of trade that would someday connect the New World with the Old, and the most densely populated areas of North America with both Central and South America, and it dominated a backcountry of vast potential wealth. In the short 300 years of its history, New York City has more than fulfilled the wildest expectations of its founders. Today, the city comprises 5 districts or boroughs. The island of Manhattan remains the nucleus and center of interest of Greater New York, heart of the city's commercial and financial business. The Bronx, sometimes called the Borough of Industries, lies on the mainland to the north and east. Across the river from Manhattan lies the borough Brooklyn, which in turn is flanked by the borough of Queens. Both of these boroughs are on the southern end of Long Island and are for the most part residential. In New York Bay, located near the New Jersey shore, is Staten Island, which is known as the borough of Richmond, the least populated of the 5 boroughs. Richmond forms a connecting link in the overland motor routes leading from New York City to the western United States. Between Staten Island and Manhattan, ferry boats ply all day long, carrying passengers, automobiles, trucks, and bulk freight. From the deck of one of these boats, one may catch a glimpse of the great Statue of Liberty, a figure that has stirred the emotions of countless immigrants to our shores. Here in New York's harbor dock the ships of the world. This magnificent water gate, open the year round, deep enough for the largest vessels and spacious enough to hold the entire United States Navy without obstructing normal traffic, has been of great importance to our entire national economy. Without this natural advantage, New York itself would never have advanced to its present position, for waterborne commerce has